A lot of times, after you get done gluing up boards, which in many cases if you want more design and more looks, you got to glue up a lot of boards, especially if you got thinner boards. You got to re-glue them a few different times, but you can see here lots of glue. Well, after about an hour, hour and a half, you want to scrape off the big stuff, especially before you run it through your planer. But these are just some of my boards, getting them together. Going to make cheese boards out of them, and salt and pepper napkin holders. And this is what you start with, just a bunch of scrap and odds and ends. You can make them all out of one big board if you want, but I'm also trying to get a few more little collars, a few more little things in it. This is my circle jig that I made so many years ago. I mean, it ain't nothing fancy, but I got holes on here, 2, 4, 6, 8, 10, go all the way up. I can make a 20-inch circle. This is the easiest and most accurate way that I've seen for cutting them, especially for me. Then I have a stop right here where this just slides all the way in, and you move it in as you're moving your blade, your wood towards it, and it starts cutting your circle. And I'm starting out with these blanks right here, and I'm going to make my wife a K-cup coffee holder that's going to be 3 high circles. So this is the start of it. You got to put the nail down in the hole, make sure you hit the right one. You use a little penny type nail. You want to get it down there flat, and then you start in at an angle, and that allows you to cut your circle. How easy it is. That's an 8-inch circle I made just then. You lift this up, slide it out through the groove, get this edge off here just a hair. There you have a 8-inch circle already cut out, and it's very nice and smooth. Then next I'm going to make a couple 6s. All I have is about a $60 camera from a few years ago. A cool pick. I don't have any of the real fancy stuff a lot of people have, but this gets the point and the ideal across. I'm still working on that K-cup coffee holder for my wife, drilling holes into it, as you can see right here. This is just part of it, and I use a backer board here to keep it from chipping out too bad. And I've already put a little indentations in here about where I want the drill bit to hit, and after I line it up, then I'm able to turn it on and cut the hole. after I get done with this, I'll use a round over and get all these sharp edges off with a little bit of sanding. But this is going to be for a K-cup coffee holder. That's why I don't do this in the garage. I'm getting ready to put a round over on the edge of these circles, 6-inch and 8-inch circles that I made. I'm just putting gloves on because they're small, we'll get a better hold onto them. But this is for the K-cup coffee holder that I'm going to be making. I normally don't do this in the garage, but it's about 28 degrees outside and a little slippery and icy, so this don't make too big a mess, so I'm doing it in here. Puts a nice edge on it. I've had this little router table for about right around 5-6 years. It's done a real good job. It's nothing great, but a lot of it has to do with your router bits. But it just puts a nice rounded edge where it isn't so square. But if you want more of a round edge, all you got to do is use a little bigger router. But this pretty much gets that sharp edge off of it. Only thing is that this table does have a tendency to mar or leave gray spots on your wood, which you can see in here, but you got to lightly sand it anyway. The reason I don't do much cutting in here, you can see this is my woodworking area. And my tractor stays inside. Too much money in it to leave it outside and don't want to run it. My lawnmowers, my table, my boat, since I've had since 1979. 40 years I've had this boat, and it stays inside. And some of my wood and stuff that I work on. And all my tools, everything I have, is all on wheels. I use this ladder here. It hangs up all my vices and clamps. And I've got a lot of my wood, which actually comes from trees on the other side. I have them slabbed in rough cut, and then I cut everything out and cut them into pieces that I need. This old drill press, about a 1950, I bought it for $20 at a garage sale. Cleaned it up and fixed it up and put a new cord on it. But all my equipment and everything that I use is all back here, but everything is on wheels, so I just if it's not snowing or freezing cold or raining, then I roll this stuff right outside into the driveway where I can make a big mess out there and then sweep a lot of it up. But even though this is a good sized garage, my room is very little and I don't like getting everything filthy. It don't take much to cut stuff and all of a sudden you got a major dust mess, real bad. I'm sure there's better ways to do this, but right now it's the only way that I particularly know. Taking this 7/8" dowel right here, and these holes, 7/8, it's a real tight fit, and I don't want to break or split this wood pounding and beating on it. So I drilled out this 1-inch hole, which gives this a lot more support as I pound this down through here. less chance of cracking this wood or anything here on this holder. Then I take this tape right here, and I start pounding it down through the other piece, because it is a fairly tight fit, and I don't want to break anything or crack anything. So I'm actually, with this mallet, pounding on the dowel itself. And when you're done, you want to be approximately 3 inches above for clearance. This is a K-cup coffee holder that I just made my wife. She's been wanting one. This will hold 26 cups. And it's made out of cherry and black walnut, pine and black walnut, and Purduke and black walnut. The bottom's 10 inches around, the middle's 8 inches, and then the other two are 6 inches. This will hold 26 cups. K-cup coffee holder.